You're watching NewsX. My name is Vineet Malhotra, and we have a special show today in association with Business World. And in fact, this hour is usually a time where we reflect and rather deflect notions and opinions pertaining to the economy. And today, we're going to specifically talk about the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir. Well, almost a year after the abrogation of Article 370, the pieces are still being picked. The economy is still recovering. In times of COVID 19, that attempt, or rather that endeavor, seems a little uphill, but knowing as we are resilient, we will cross this bridge as well. And let's talk about this with our esteemed panelists who are joining us on this very important show today. And let me welcome Mr. M. Salim Beg, who is the former director of the General Tourism and Director Industries of Jammu and Kashmir. Mr. Mohammad Ashraf Mir also joins us. He's the president of the Federation of Chamber of Industries of Kashmir, the FCIK. Also joining us on the program is Mr. Rakesh Wazir, who's the chairman of the Jammu Region, chapter of PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry and president, Hotel and Restaurant Association, Katra. Mr. Vikrant Kuthiala, he's a former chairman of Jammu Regional Committee of PhD Chamber of Commerce and AMP Industry. Mr. Mushtaq Chaya, who is the chairperson of the PhD Chamber of Commerce in Kashmir, and Dr. Ghazala Amin, who's an entrepreneur and a former Secretary General, Kashmir Chamber of Commerce and Industries as well. And last, but by no means the least, Dr. Anurag Patra, Chairman and Editor-in-Chief of Business World and Exchange for Media Group. We're also joined by Mr. Baldev Singh Raina. Good evening to everyone. And let me start, in fact, asking a question to Mr. M. Salim Beg. So if you can hear me loud and clear?
Yeah.
Right. So just a few days back, we celebrated, the first anniversary of the abrogation of Article 370, which has changed the landscape of Jammu and Kashmir. It's controlled by the center now. It's a union territory now. Obviously, there was some resistance to that change, but in the long run, it is evident that the territory is going to be benefiting from what the rest of India has been benefiting for a very long time. We are living in the time of Corona, COVID-19, where everything seems to be a little more inertia is prevalent, perhaps in everything. It's slower. Where do you see Jammu and Kashmir, say perhaps 5 years from now? And if you compute the abrogation of Article 370 in its progress, how far do you think Kashmir has come?
Well, thank you for inviting me and organizing the whole webinar on economy of J&K. But we have a slightly different view about things which have unfolded after abrogation of Article 370 and Article 35. Well, Kashmir already was a bruised economy. If you go slightly back, we had these destructive floods in 2014, and you know what floods have done to the city of Srinagar and other parts of Kashmir. It was a disaster. And unfortunately, in other parts of the country, we didn't as a government or as a state rise up to the occasion and provided relief as it should have been, but that happens in every part of India. While we were recovering rather slowly from what had happened in 2014, we had a very bad 2016 due to death or killing of Burhan Wani. We had a very bad summer. In Kashmir, economy evolves a seasonal economy, in a way seasonal economy. We depend heavily on tourism, both in terms of flow of money and also in terms of the psyche of the people here, the mood of the people. It had started picking up sometime around middle of 2007. And I think 2018 should easily would have been a very good year for Kashmir. Coming to 2019, my friends from tourism and industry will perhaps watch for this. We had a wonderful first 6 months in 2019. After this abrogation, it's lived differently here in terms of economy. Let's not talk about politics. I saw the brief you had sent said this. But in terms of economy, it was a clamp down. It was a closure. I don't know what all do you when you talk about a situation where tourists had to be removed from hotels in dead of the night. The place was closed regularly or at a stretch closed for first 3 months when nothing moved here. Now, you can imagine an economy in present day where transport is not available, schools are closed. Forget about lockdown. That came in much later. That came in later part of March. I'm talking about the period which is between March, because then everything got evened out between March and August. The internet was not, in fact, telephones were not available. So I am not very optimistic about things looking up in near future. It's a long haul. The economy is not an off and on situation. It is a long-term sustainable effort from all players. That includes the civil society, that includes the trade. So unfortunately, as of now, I don't see much happening in very near future, but then obviously nothing is static, things move on and life moves on, as you said, in coming 5 years, depending on how things shape up, and I must tell you, shape up politically as well. You can't remove economy from politics, neither here nor anywhere else. If things shape
Absolutely.
up, we are a place where things do change and do change faster than other places. And if we have good traffic, tourist traffic happening, we have good investments. And as of now, there's no indication that any investment is coming, let me tell you frankly, on this platform. As of now, we have not, except the statements which have been given. So let's hope it's not the government is not sincere in terms of economy. They're trying that things should pick up, like allocation of land, creating a land bank, inviting people. But we are in a very difficult situation as of now. And if this situation persists for some more time, the longer it will take changing the.
When you say some more time, so when you say some more time, what exactly is the time frame that you have in mind?
Well, all things remaining, as I said, in a shape in which economy gets a boost. I would have thought, I have seen, I have been part of this whole process here. We have seen things going down. We have seen Kargil, we have seen militancy, we have seen 2014, we have seen 2016. In 6 months' time, there will be signs.
Okay.
Things would.
Right. Let me also get an opening remark from Mr. Wazir, and then Anurag will have a few questions for everyone as well. Mr. Wazir, do you think that Kashmir can ever be independent of its political dispensation? Do you think its economy will always be intertwined? For that matter, any country's economy is intertwined with the politics, but Kashmir specifically so. Do you think its economy will always be intertwined with the kind of political landscape, or rather the lack of it, that we have seen in the past few decades?
First of all, I would like to thank you for choosing that beautiful subject, which is need of our today. And first of all, I would like to say that as far as economy is concerned, it is same as it was prior to abrogation of Article 370. And even after that, nothing has changed. What I personally feel, the things are same as those were earlier. Rather, those have deteriorated a little. और उसमें मैं इतना ही कहूँगा कि आज इस चीज को समझने की जरूरत है कि पहले नंबर तो हमारे स्टेट की बैकबोन टूरिज्म है, और टूरिज्म हम पिछले 10-12 साल से बिल्कुल नीचे जा रहे हैं, और टेररिज्म और उसके साथ जुड़ी हुई चीजों की वजह से हमारा टूरिज्म यहाँ पे बुरी तरह बैठा हुआ है। यहाँ तक इंडस्ट्री का सवाल है तो हमारी स्टेट अभी जो यूनियन टेरिटरी है एक फॉरेन कॉर्नर पे है, तो रॉ मटेरियल
पर वजीर साहब होम मिनिस्ट्री के हवाले से जो आतंकवाद की जो घटनाएं हैं वो पिछले साल में कम हुई है, स्टोन पेल्टिंग भी कम हुई है।
सर देखें, मैं तो बड़ा स्ट्रेट हम उस बात पे कहने वाले हैं कि आज की डेट में फिगर्स मिलिटेंट्स मरे हैं, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है, मगर आज देखने की ये जरूरत है कि कितने टूरिस्ट कश्मीर में गए हैं और कितने टूरिस्ट हमारे जम्मू रीजन में आए, और अगर वो पिछले साल के मुकाबले में इस साल देखेंगे तो वो फिगर काफी घटी है। और इसी में मैं आगे जाके सिर्फ इतना ही कहूंगा कि आज जब तक हम हमारी स्टेट को कोई स्पेशल पैकेजेस नॉर्थ ईस्ट की तरफ पे या बाकी स्टेट्स की जो हमारी उधर की स्टेट्स हैं जो फार फ्लंग एरियाज में हैं, जब तक हम नहीं देंगे और हम सोचेंगे कि जनाब यहाँ पे इन्वेस्टमेंट आ जाएगी, सब कुछ हो जाएगा, पिछले 1 साल में मुझे कोई आदमी बता दे कि यहाँ पे एक बिग हाउस आया हो जिसने इन्वेस्टमेंट की हो तो हमें खुशी होगी। मगर अभी तक तो हुआ ये है कि उल्टा जो हमें पैकेजेस और प्रिविलेजेस जो मिल रहे थे, आज हमें होटल इंडस्ट्री पे यहाँ पे कोई टैक्स नहीं था। आज जीएसटी रिजीम आने के बाद और यहाँ पे आर्टिकल 370 हटने के बाद हमारे यहाँ पे सारे टैक्सेस होटल पे लग गए हैं। और आज एक होटल जो 90% ऑक्यूपेंसी कर रहा है दिल्ली में, अगर हम उसे श्रीनगर के साथ मिलाएंगे, यहाँ 5% ऑक्यूपेंसी है, तो ये ऐसा ही होगा जैसे पीटी उषा को हम एक हैंडीकैप्ड आदमी के साथ दौड़ में लगा दें और कहेंगे आप जीते। तो मैं समझता हूं कि हमारे यहाँ उर्दू में एक शेर है कि मोहब्बत में ये लाजिम है कि जो कुछ है फना कर दे, और मोहब्बत में ये ताकत है कि बंदे को खुदा कर दे। हमें मोहब्बत चाहिए पूरे हिंदुस्तान की, हमें मोहब्बत चाहिए एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की, सेंटर की, ताकि जितना वो हमें मोहब्बत दे पाए, जितने हमारे पैकेजेस को रिड्यूस करने की जरूरत नहीं है। अगर रिड्यूस करेंगे हम आगे ही मरे हुए हैं और मर जाएंगे। हमें उल्टा इस वक्त जरूरत इस चीज की थी कि हमें और किस तरीके से गले लगाया जाता। मगर वहां पे मैं समझता हूं, मैं उन टेक्निकलिटीज में नहीं पढ़ूंगा कि क्या है क्या नहीं, इसके फायदे नुकसान, मगर इतना जरूर कहूंगा कि जिस तरीके से हम चल रहे हैं, अगर ऐसे चलते रहे तो यहाँ पे इन्वेस्टमेंट आने वाली नहीं है, ऐसा मेरा मानना है।
अनुराग,
मैंने बेग साहब को सुना, I heard Mr. Beg, I heard Mr. Wazir. I would like from, we had Mr. Chaya on our show on Monday. What I would like from Dr. Ghazla Amin, from Mr. Vikrant Kutiala, what are the solutions? We hear you loud and clear that the economy was weak before the abrogation of the Article 370, and with the twin blow of one COVID and second a weak economy, Kashmir needs intervention. You rightly said that we need a special package for Kashmir like we treat North. So I want to know from you, what are your specific suggestions to be done? Like Mr. Wazir has said that we need a special package. So if we can reiterate what can be done to be able to get the people of Kashmir a livelihood, get the entrepreneurs of Kashmir the livelihood that they rightly deserve. What should the government do? I would like to get to know action points. So we can start with Mr. Kutiala.
Thank you. See, I'll tell you the basic thing the state needs. If I was to just quickly run through a couple of things, one is investment from outside. We are investment deficit. Now, investment has to come in into sectors where we have some inherent strengths. Tourism is prone to law and order disturbances, and right now with COVID, it's not going to get okay in the short term. Medium term, maybe somewhat. Long term, definitely we will be a booming tourism state. Short term, we have to focus on our strengths, which is basically extraction of mineral wealth, which would be accelerated completion of infrastructure projects. You know, whether it's roads, railways, whatever is going on, accelerated completion, so that there is an element of some local purchase which takes place, which stimulates the local economy. Then, you know, we need investment in terms of value addition in products which are produced in the state, whether these are apples, whether these are walnuts, whether it is almonds, whatever it is we are making, horticulture wealth, floriculture wealth, whatever we are making, value addition must take place in the state, because that is a permanent source of employment. And wherever value addition takes place, it is going to result in economic prosperity. Going further, see, J&K as a state, since independence, is the only state in the country which has never had the presence of any large public sector undertaking, a mother unit, which, you know, kind of led to a culture of development of ancillaries, small units which were dependent upon it. So definitely some investment. I mean, it's against current policy, of course, of the central government to get into industry. But in the case of J&K, you got to understand one thing. Either we give out money in the shape of support to the state government for controlling law and order, for doing other developmental activities, or we invest in infrastructure, we invest in industry here, knowing it may not earn very well, but at least it will lead to generation of employment directly, indirectly, lead to value addition across the board.
The employment generation may also mitigate youth going towards militancy. So it cuts both ways. Yeah. Mr. Mushtaq Chaya?
सर,
तो आपकी क्या सुझाव है कि सरकार क्या कर सकती है जिससे कश्मीर में इन्वेस्टमेंट आए?
डॉक्टर साहब, मेरी एक सुझाव है। सबसे पहले मैं ये शुक्रिया आपका अदा करना चाहता हूँ, आपने हमें इस बोर्ड में ले लिया। ये जो 370 का मसला हो गया 1 साल का, हमें टेंशन के और स्ट्रेस के सिवा कुछ नहीं मिला इस साल में, ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग। हम जिस तरह सलीम साहब ने कहा, पहले भी यहाँ इकॉनमी ठीक चल रही थी, जो 370 का मसला हो गया और एकदम गवर्नमेंट ने उस वक्त लॉकडाउन कर दिया, जिससे सारा हमारा बिजनेस टोटली इंडस्ट्री थी, ट्रेडिंग थी, टूरिज्म था, सारा बैठ गया। अब गवर्नमेंट का और बराबर आज तक 5 अगस्त कल था, आज तक 6 अगस्त है, बराबर वही सिलसिला चलता आया है। अब हमारी यही अर्ज़दाइश है गवर्नमेंट से कि उसको जिस तरह वजीर साहब ने कहा स्पेशल पैकेज है, जैसा कि ये देख लीजिए यहाँ की इंडस्ट्री है, उनको कुछ ऐसा पैकेज दिए ताकि वो फिर से काम शुरू करे, चाहे वो टूरिज्म है, चाहे वो इंडस्ट्री है, चाहे वो ट्रेडिंग है। बैंक फाइनेंसेस ऐसे करे विदाउट इंटरेस्ट 3-4 साल के लिए, मॉर्टगेज तो उनके पास है, वो रखे, अब 4 साल के बाद फिर वापस करेंगे उनको वो पैसा। फिलहाल हमें ऐसा जरूरत है सो दैट हमारे जो लोग हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए एम्प्लॉइज है, हमारे काम है, फिर एक बार शुरू हो जाए और इंशाल्लाह 2-3 सालों में हम भी इधर ही रहते हैं, इधर इसी मुल्क में हैं, हम कहीं नहीं जाएंगे। गवर्नमेंट शुड फुली सपोर्ट टू जम्मू एंड कश्मीर। सो फिर ये हमारी इकोनॉमी ठीक हो सकती है। अदरवाइज देखिए इसके बाद तो ये कोविड आ गया, अब कोविड से सारा बैठा है। जिस तरह कुठियाला जी ने बिल्कुल राइटली कहा, अभी पता नहीं टूरिज्म कब शुरू हो जाएगा, कब लोगों परेशानी से दूर हो जाएंगे। तब तक तो फुली एक ज़बरदस्त पैकेज गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को निकालनी चाहिए ताकि सारे लोग इधर के फिर अपने हिसाब से चले। 2-4 साल में हम नहीं कहते हमें मुफ्त दे दे, 4 साल के बाद फिर वो पैसा वापस हम कर देंगे, तब तक तो सारे काम चलते रहेंगे। ये मेरा सुझाव है इस वक्त जो इस वक्त
Dr. Ghazala, I mean, do you think, Dr. Ghazala, I mean, do you think that the government had a plan for Jammu and Kashmir and that perhaps got derailed because of COVID-19, like any other nation in the world, like any other government in the world that perhaps is looking, to salvage of what best to do with the economy?
Thank you, Vineet, for allowing me to speak on this. And our elders have already spoken. Beg Saab has spoken about the situation in Kashmir. See, it's extremely difficult to separate politics from business anywhere. We need peace to do business. We cannot do business unless there isn't a peaceful atmosphere. That is the long and short of it. Now the question is, what is the government doing to ensure peace in J&K? My feeling in this is that the whole process of the abrogation of 370 came in so suddenly. It was like a thunderbolt. It was like a thunderbolt for the businesses. It was like a thunderbolt for the people. It was a thunderbolt for the civil society. It was something that nobody expected and nobody was prepared for. And I don't think that the government was also prepared to face what happened after that. Leaving COVID aside, COVID, of course, was the last nail in the coffin. But before that, I don't think the government had a proper plan in place. It never has had a proper plan in place as far as Kashmir is concerned. This is my opinion. Everything is done very haphazardly. There is no proper system to it, to anything. I would question the need, for abrogation so suddenly. I would question that anybody would. But well, that's not probably what we are discussing today. The thing is that we
but ma'am, but Dr. Ghazala, the abrogation of Article 370 was in the manifesto of the government, not only in 2019, but 2014 as well. Would it be correct to say that it was done in a haphazard manner? Because, the writing was on the wall.
Well, the writing on the wall was okay, that they wanted to abrogate 370. But the thing was, the aftermath was probably not, something that anybody envisaged. Everything was shut down. See, look, today I'm speaking to you on a 2G connection. I'm a business person who needs to be in connection with the whole world. Where is my 4G? Why is 2G being given to our people here? Our IT industries are shut down. People are without jobs. The other industries are suffering because we are unable. We are a state dependent on tourism. which is totally dependent on the internet connection. We are a state dependent on handicrafts. Handicrafts are sold through online. A lot of handicrafts are sold online. How are we supposed to do business? If you see the roads in Kashmir, they are in such a disgusting condition. How do you ask tourists if you go on the boulevard, which is a central place?
Dr. Ghazal, I mean, we get your point that, and all the panelists kind of concur on that it requires a new strategy, new thinking on Kashmir.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to ask you is to tell us, like Mr. Kutiala shared 3 very specific points. And one point I love, that the state can put up a large PSU, which then will, create employment downwards. It will create SMEs, because the state can do things out of beyond the profit motive. I mean, sustainability. So what are the specific suggestions that are implementable?
Look, a very recent thing, which you see, there is a problem even with trust. The question is, recently, the sand mining contracts were given to people from outside. There's a lot of resentment among the local people for that. Because when the sand mining contracts were done, we had no internet. How did you expect the local people to bid for the mining? See, these things are going to affect the local population. And if you say tomorrow that we have given 3,000 canals of land for industry, the local industrialists feel, okay, are we going to get any part of that? Are we? So these are the questions that we need to ask the government to put it very clear where the local industrialists stand as far as your plan is concerned. Now, there are so many areas, like Kutiala Saab said and Mushtaq Saab also said, there are so many areas we should be looking at. Horticulture is huge. 40% of the horticultural produce goes waste because we don't have value addition in horticulture. Very, very little value addition. Whereas governments all over the world are at this time promoting their local products. See, when there is, I'll give you a very, very specific example. Supposing there is Australian honey or there is an oil in Africa, it becomes a rage overnight because the government promotes it. And then there is,
I said that understand what I on the show on Monday.
Yeah, that's right. And
branding is the key.
Absolutely.
The government promotes the brand, it is produced from that region, and all the producers get together to kind of give weight to that brand because all of them benefit. So I am in full concurrence with you.
It's not only that, it's about the healthcare system. Do you know how viable Kashmir is to have health tourism? Why do we not have health tourism there? It's health tourism is not dependent on tourists coming in from all over the world. There are people who come in for a specific purpose. If you create an infrastructure for healthcare with the best hospitals in the country or in the world, why is that not being done? That's something easy to do. Mushtaq Saab knows that for people to come into their hotels, they need, a very, very peaceful atmosphere. They need, but then people in the health sector don't need all that. They just come for a specific purpose, for cancer treatment or for other kinds of treatments. We should be looking at things like that. We can work even in an atmosphere of conflict. It is, okay. This is something that I want
to Rana, Mr. Raina, Mr. Baldev Singh Raina. You'll have to unmute yourself, Mr. Raina. What are your opening comments? How can the economy in Kashmir be revived, and how do you see the business and economic environment over the last 12 months?
Yeah, Dr. Saab.
Mr. Raina, if you can tilt your phone, and we'll be able to see you more. If you can tilt your phone to landscape mode, we'll be able to see you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Doctor, we have already made roadmap of revival of economy of Union Territory of J&K, and we are working. Our chamber is working from last 1 year, very day and night, how to establish and how to bounce back of economy in J&K. And we have a lot of suggestions, but everybody we are going to meet, but nothing happened today. जिस तरह अभी चाया साहब ने बोला, अभी कुटियाल साहब ने बोला, अगर एक ओपन माइंड सेट के साथ गवर्नमेंट खाली सोच लेके हमने कश्मीर की इकोनॉमी को बढ़ाना है, एक ओपन माइंड सेट के साथ। अगर आप कश्मीर को देखेंगे, अगर हम बैक देखेंगे, कश्मीर में कोई बड़े बिजनेस नहीं है, और छोटी छोटी चीजों के लिए जो प्रॉब्लम है उनकी सोल्यूशन अभी तक नहीं हुई है। हमने दिल्ली में मीटिंग की, अमित शाह साहब के साथ मीटिंग की, होम मिनिस्टर साहब, उसे फाइनेंस को भी वहां बुलाया, 2 घंटे की बड़ी सीरियस मीटिंग हुई। हमने जम्मू में एलजी साहब के साथ मीटिंग की, चलो एलजी साहब चले गए। पहले तो हम ये देखें हमारे यहाँ पे चेंजेस कितनी, हम बात किनसे करें और काम किनसे करवाएं। ये सब कुछ खाली 2 महीने में ठीक हो सकता है। जो इकोनॉमी है, जो बाउंस बैक सिर्फ हम 2 महीने में कर सकते हैं, लेकिन इसमें एक स्ट्रांग एडवोकेसी हो, सुनने के लिए बंदे और करने के लिए बंदे हो, एक टीम फ्रेम की जाए, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से लेके स्टेट गवर्नमेंट। जो हमारी सेक्रेटरी है, हमारे एलजी साहब अब नए आ गए, हम उनको वेलकम करते हैं, चीफ सेक्रेटरी साहब यहीं पे हैं। और अगर ये सीरियस हो जाए कि हमने खाली 5 या 6 काम करने हैं वैली के लोगों के लिए, तो ये सिर्फ 1 घंटे की मीटिंग में पूरे कश्मीर की इकोनॉमी रिवाइवल हो सकती है। उसमें आज तक 18 महीने हो गए हमारा।
ऐसी कौन सी चीजें हैं, छोटे छोटे कुछ मसले? डॉक्टर गजला अमीन सेड इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी इज नीडेड टू सेल टेक्सटाइल्स, इट इज नीडेड टू सेल द एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस। सो हमें ये बताइए, व्हाट आर दीज थिंग्स जो करी जा सकती है, छोटी छोटी चीजें बट उनका इम्पैक्ट बड़ा है।
बिल्कुल सर, जिस तरह लाला मैम ने बोला एक 2G, इस वक्त पूरे वैली के बच्चे हमारे यहाँ पे, जितने बच्चे हमारे बाहर थे, जितने बाहर पढ़ते थे, इस वक्त एक बच्चों की एजुकेशन जो है वो खाली आज नेट पे है। और ये कितना बड़ा हमारे बच्चों के लिए एक बहुत ही एक साल हो गया कि वो पढ़ाई नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि आजकल सारी जो क्लासेस है वो वेबिनार पे ली जाती है। नंबर 1 वो कितना जरूरी है, हम अपने बच्चों को किसकी तरफ ये करें, स्टडी नंबर 1 जो है, क्योंकि हर बंदा जो है वो एक उसके अंदर एक गुस्सा है यार, ये अन्याय क्यों है, जब 2G है तो 4G क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए, ताकि बच्चे आराम से पढ़ सके। नंबर 1। नंबर 2 क्या हुआ है, जब 18 महीने से, जिस तरह सलीम साहब ने बोला कि हम फ्लड के टाइम से, अगर हम कश्मीर वैली को बिजनेसमैन देखें तो फ्लड, उसके बाद बुरहान वानी, फिर ये 370, फिर ये कोविड, ये 4 साल से हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे काम नहीं किया। और 4 साल में अगर आप देखेंगे तो हमने, मुझे नहीं लगता कि 100 दिन भी काम किया हो। आपके पास फिगर्स हैं, आप डाटा निकाल सकते हैं, देख सकते हैं। फ्लड में हमारे जो पूरा सीजन खराब हो गया, बुरहान वानी का टाइम पूरा 1 साल हमने काम नहीं किया। देन अभी फरवरी से लेके हम
रायदा जी, मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ, क्या धारा 370 को रद्द करना आपके अनुसार एक बड़ा कदम था या नहीं? आपको लगता है कि उससे कुछ फर्क पड़ा या पड़ेगा?
देखो सर, अभी तक तो हम वर्ष की ओर जा रहे हैं, अभी तो हम बदतर ही जा रहे हैं ना। कोई हमारे साथ अच्छा क्या हुआ,
पीछे हो रहे हैं।
अगर हम एक साल का रिजल्ट देखें, मुझे एक चीज बताओ जो यहाँ की 370 को लेके अभी तक आरबीआई की गाइडलाइन अगर यहाँ पे आती है, उसमें हमें बोलते हैं स्टैंडर्ड 4 महीने अगस्त से लेके मार्च तक हमारे को कोई आरबीआई की गाइडलाइन नहीं आई, जबकि 5 यहाँ के लोग कर्फ्यू में थे। उसके बाद भी जब गाइडलाइन आती है कोविड की वजह से, मार्च के बाद आती है, तो यहाँ की आप कह रहे हो इकोनॉमी को बढ़ाएं, इसको सुधारें, छोटी छोटी बेसिक चीजें। आप हमारी मैनेजमेंट से खाली 2 घंटे की मीटिंग सेंटर से लेके यहाँ रहिए, 10 बंदे दीजिए, हम उनको 4 चीजें ऐसी बताएंगे कि हमें उसके बाद कुछ नहीं चाहिए। कश्मीर एक ऐसी चीज है जो अपनी इकोनॉमी यहाँ पे, हमारा जिस तरह गजाला, हमारा हार्टिकल्चर यहाँ 10,000 करोड़ का है, हमारे पास रोड नहीं है, हमारा जो एप्पल्स हैं वो यहाँ से 24 घंटे में दिल्ली पहुंचने चाहिए, 10 दिन गाड़ी को दिल्ली पहुंचने में लगते हैं। 10 days, यू बिलीव इट, यहाँ से कोर्ट रोड से गाड़ी निकलती है और 10 दिन वहां दिल्ली नहीं पहुंचती है, कि रोड की ये हालत है। हमें 2 दिन, ये नहीं कि जिस गाड़ी को में एप्पल हो उसको पास दिया जाए, ये तो एक छोटा सा काम है। और वो रूरल इकोनॉमी को कितना बूस्ट करता है हमारा एप्पल। उस एप्पल को पिछले 2 साल से किसी ने नहीं देखा। वो एप्पल यहीं हमारे कोल्ड स्टोरों पे लोगों ने लेना बंद कर दिया, यहीं वो 2 साल से जो एप्पल है वो खराब हो गया। और जो आरबीआई की गाइडलाइन चाहिए, जिस तरह 25 करोड़ से ऊपर हम कश्मीर में देखें तो टोटल 30 बिजनेसमैन है, अभी तक 4 साल हो गए। अभी अगर हम फरवरी से ले लें या 370 के बाद ले लें, अभी तक उनके लिए कोई गाइडलाइन नहीं आई, क्योंकि जितनी गाइडलाइन आरबीआई ने दी वो मार्च के बाद, जो यहाँ पे अकाउंट मार्च से पहले, ये अगस्त के बाद खराब हुए हैं, उनके लिए अभी तक कोई पॉलिसी नहीं आई। तो ये छोटी छोटी चीजों को हम तो हर वक्त, हर वेबिनार पे, हर मीटिंग में कहते हैं, लेकिन होता कुछ नहीं। ये 4-5 काम अगर किए जाए यहाँ के बिजनेसमैनों को, और ओपन माइंड सेट के साथ, मैं कह रहा हूँ यहाँ के बिजनेसमैनों को ऑन बोर्ड लिया जाए, और अगर यहाँ पे कोई इन्वेस्ट करेगा तो 80% यहाँ के लोग इन्वेस्ट करेंगे। और अगर यहाँ का जो बिजनेसमैन है वो खुश है, उसी को देख के दूसरा बिजनेसमैन आएगा। जंगल में कभी टूरिस्ट नहीं आते हैं, जहाँ पे भूखे लोग होते हैं ना, झोपड़पट्टी में कभी 5 स्टार नहीं बनाया जा सकता। उसके लिए
पहले जो केंद्र सरकार ने जो 30,000 करोड़ रुपए जो बजट में एलोकेट किए थे जम्मू और कश्मीर के लिए, उसका कुछ फायदा होगा?
सर फायदा होगा, लेकिन
किसी का नहीं,
इम्प्लीमेंट ही नहीं हो पा रहा है। एक्चुअली हम लोग 5 अगस्त में ही लॉकडाउन में हमारा कर्फ्यू लग गया यहाँ पे। जो भी पॉलिसीज हैं, जो अकाउंट हमारे अगस्त से लेके मार्च तक खराब हो गए।
Mr. Mohammed Ashraf Mir, sir, let's hear from you also what the problems of Kashmir are. So far, we have heard that a consolidated solution has to be put forth by the government, and COVID-19 has only compounded the problem.
Thank you, Mr. Vineet.
It was, yeah, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Vineet. You see, situation in Kashmir has been like this for the last couple of decades now. Even if we don't go far away to 30 years, if we witness 2008, then 10, then 14, then 16, we have had very turbulent times. But every time government would come forward with a helping hand, with a hand holding, something would come out of it. Our economy did not shatter completely. We did suffer. We did not progress as the other states in India have progressed. We have not progressed to that extent. But at least we were not shaken to foundations even. But at present, what the scenario is, the Indian economists, the Indian people who are talking about Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir economy. I will not talk about Kashmir only. I will talk about Jammu Kashmir being one state. Has anybody taken a review what happened during the last 1 year? There are only reformative orders. There has nothing been on developmental front. Yes. You talk about infusing more money into the economy. Have you given confidence to people how they will pay back? How do I pay back if I borrow money from banks? Has government a roadmap for this? Has any economist in India a roadmap? How do I pay back? Only thing, you have come with a very, very big package, 21 lakh crore rupees. But did it suffice for MSME or our trading community, hotelier, transporter, a street vendor even for that matter? For the last 1 year, has anybody bothered from top bureaucracy to the bottom? Has he ever bothered? Instead, he goes to this back to villages, he goes to secretariats, he has a road show, then he has his office show and other things. Give me a simple one example where a common man has benefited. Give me a simple example where a common man is benefited, where a development work is taking place, and where a bank has come forward for hand-holding of a person who is a victim of not a self-inflicted injury, but an injury which has been inflicted by the government and the state. What was my fault? You all of a sudden locked me on 5th August last year. You have locked me inside my house, and till date I am inside my house. And now bank is offering me. You pay me money back. Why do I get a client? Why do I get a tourist? Why do I get a taxi driver? Why do I get a Punewala? What is the resource for people? It is very easy, Mr. Dr. Batra. I have been listening to your programs very often. It is very easy to have debates on these things, but it is very difficult to come forward and give me confidence. How do I pay back? I want peace first. I don't want any investment. Nobody is going to come for investments in Jammu and Kashmir. I will quote a simple example. Forget foreign investment. Ram Vilas Paswan, when he was minister 20 years back, he laid a foundation stone for a sail plant in IGC Lasipura. It did not even touch foundations. For the last 27 years now. You are talking about investments coming to the state. You are talking about big hotels coming to the state. You are talking about big infrastructure projects coming to the state. These are all dreams that we have been watching for all these 73 years now. I am not touching politics part of it, but I am an investor. I am an entrepreneur. I have a family to feed back. Tell me, how do I do it? You give me economists. We give them roadmap. Give us something to eat. You cannot dump me like a terrorist every now and then.
I hear you, Mr. Mir. I hear you, and I can't.
No problem, Dr. Batra. Problem is everybody hears us. Everybody listens to our apathies.
but nobody is here to coming for redressal. You see, I am on this program today. I only joined. I am a COVID patient right now. I am just now taking oxygen, but still, I thought it's my legitimate duty to come up with my views and express my views to the whole nation. Nation does not know what has been happening in Jammu and Kashmir. They are trying to separate Jammu and Kashmir as two union territories. Jammu and Kashmir is one, and when Kashmir bleeds, Jammu has to bleed. And when Jammu bleeds, Kashmir has to bleed. Let it be a writing on the wall. Thank you very much.
First of all, Mr. Mir, we're grateful to you and we wish you well. I'm sure soon again we'll be able to have you on our show. And I agree that sometimes it's easy to do debates, but to be able to do constructive action. But discussion and taking your point of view and your pain and your expectation to people who matters is what we are doing here on the BW Business World and NewsX broadcast. So thank you.
Dr. Bata, I have a point to make. I'm sorry. You see, earlier Dr. Ghazala was also talking, my other colleagues were also talking about the mining contracts. Earlier, we used to get in Jammu and Kashmir, not only in Kashmir, Jammu also, we used to get a truckload of sand and aggregate at 5,000 rupees.
Yes.
Now it is 15,000 rupees.
Yes.
SRO 302 says that government will regulate the prices of the mineral wealth. Who is regulating? Who is abetting this corruption? Is there anybody who is listening? How do we prosper? Tell me, I am a contractor as well. I have bagged a contract last year and I have to complete it this year because of other. Well, who is regulating these mining contracts? Is it because 2G, 3G, 4G is not working? To me, 4G, 5G doesn't matter. To me, what matters is safety of my investment, and which is priority of the government, and it should be priority of the government. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mir. Mr. Kutiala, you heard Mr. Mir. Any comments?
Yeah, see,
Mr. Kutiala.
My view is very simple. See, the past is over and done with. You can't do anything about it. The future is uncertain. The only thing which matters is the decisions we make today. If we act on anything today, fine. I mean, we are losing time every single day when there's no decision making forthcoming. To my mind, there are three things. Number one, first, as a nation, we have to decide what is the end game from Jammu and Kashmir, where do we want to reach. Once the destination is fixed, then we decide how we want to get there. Let me go a little further. See, the thing is, so far we are seeing confused signals coming from everywhere. We talk of investments, but actually not visible on the ground. Let me give you an example. See, now take the case of small handle projects. Himachal capacity is totally exhausted. Uttarakhand capacity totally exhausted. J&K capacity is not even touched at the moment. But if you want to develop this sector, the sector by definition is remotely located in distant places with poor road networks, with poor power evacuation facilities. You have to give someone a rate of return which is more than what he will get anywhere else in the country. Otherwise, why would he come to a troubled state? Why would he go to a remote area? Why would he put money in a project where the cost of evacuation is higher, cost of reaching site is higher? So you have to facilitate and come up with sector-specific policies. I mean, it's just one small example I'm giving you. There are across the board various sectors where you can develop the state, generate local employment, and make the UT self-reliant in the process. So what my spin on things on this is, we have immense opportunities, but the whole thing is about lack of clear policies which are implemented in time. I will qualify it further. See, one policy we got was a beautiful policy of central excise incentives way back in time. 2008, the government abruptly withdrew it. Someone filed an RTI, and if my information is correct, they cited there was massive misuse of that particular policy. Someone filed the RTI, and it appears there were only 4 instances which surfaced where the policy was misused. 2010, they modified that policy. People went to the court. Supreme Court decides in 2020, 10 years later. Now, whatever decision they take, it has gone against the trade, for your information. Now, If someone has to get some refund or has to pay excise, 10 years of interest and penalties on that will wipe out the unit. So, if there has to be stability in policies, if there's an intention of the legislator to do something, you cannot start modifying it midway through. So my point is, you see, stability in policies, sectors where we are strong, investment must be facilitated. No one's going to invest here on the same basis as any other state. We have to walk the extra mile for J&K. We have to give something more to get people to come in. There are two other specific issues which I'd like to bring. See, one-time payment they have to make to a whole lot of small and micro manufacturers. Take the transformer industry, take some of these other industries. They have outstanding bills which have been pending for months altogether. At my information, about a month old, I don't know currently.
Years together, Mr. Putiala.
So I don't know currently, but see, that has to be clear. How can you expect people to work if the government are not paid?
I hear you, and I'm glad Newsx and Business World are doing this special discussion on Kashmir and the business and economy. I see 5 issues. I see an issue about basic communication, which is 4G, because as Mr. Raina said, the digital divide between students that are in Kashmir and elsewhere is growing. Second, I see, investment issues. No investments are coming. Third is safety of investment, as Mr. Mees said. Fourth, Mr. Putiala, you've talked about consistency in policy and a specific policy for the state which works to its strengths. You gave the example of hydropower. And fifth is overall, a focus on Kashmir. All this will only happen if there is a single point of contact, there is implementation of what is being discussed, there is a feedback loop. Mr. Mir and Mr. Raina all have talked about the mining contract. Mr. Amin has also talked about the mining contract. So I hear your, displeasure on the Kashmir economy not being looked after. Mr. Mir has talked about the fact that the truckload of sand has gone up from rupees 5,000 to 15,000. Now, these are real issues, and hopefully we'll do more discussions. But at this point, let's get all of you to make your closing remark. We can start with Mr.
5
Raina.
minutes left.
Mr. Raina, if one thing you had to suggest to the government, what would that be? You'll have to unmute yourself, Raina sir. Unmute yourself. Unmute your volume.
Okay. Sir, only one thing, and one suggestion for all. जो भी यहाँ बिजनेस हब हैं वैली और जम्मू के, एक बार उनको पूछा जाए कि उनकी जरूरत क्या है, उनके लिए क्या करना है। बिकॉज पिछले 3 डिकेड से और जो 4 साल रहे उन्होंने कोई काम नहीं किया। वो जितने भी उनकी प्रॉब्लम को एक बार सोल्यूशन दिया जाए। जो बिजनेस यहाँ पे करते हैं पहले उनको सेट किया जाए, उनकी प्रॉब्लम को सुना, तब जाके हम आगे चल सकते हैं।
So a dialogue which identifies specific issues. Dr. Ghazala Amin.
I just want to say to the government, please put your money where your mouth is. Number one. Number two, Kashmir has always been on the trade route of the most prosperous nations. Why has it suddenly gone into a tail end of not, being anything? What we need from the government is not to treat it as geography. Every time Kashmir is being treated as geography, Ladakh ko alag karo, Jammu ko alag karo, Kashmir ko alag karo. I think we need to get out of this mindset, and what we need to do is put your money where the mouth is, take the people into confidence if you can. At this time, it seems very bleak to me right now. I'm a business person. The business scenario is really bleak, really bleak.
Mr. Baig.
I wanted to make a quick point. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Because the question was by Vineet to Dr. Ghazala that removal of Article 370 was part of the agenda of BJP, part of manifesto of BJP from 2014, not from 2014, from 1952. But we trusted our constitution more than a political party's agenda or manifesto. We thought constitution of this country supersedes. Anyway, that's besides the point. I thought I'll react. One thing if we have to do, and which must be done on priority, is mobility. The access to mobility. If you see the condition of road from Jammu to Srinagar, that is the only road, unfortunately, through which we bring things and send things out. Somebody was telling me the other day that the wastage of vegetables, we export vegetables from Kashmir for about 4 months of a year, has gone up to 70% because it gets held up. The road condition is so bad. I don't know, can't this country...
So mobility, roads, you know...
Two, this year, please
talk about the apples.
Just a minute. We have to have memories. We can't say leave behind what has happened. This year, we have cherry crop, and cherry crop is something which is a cash crop of Kashmiris. And this was always transported through air transport. Most of it was going in the cargo. This year, that was denied to them. As a result, 2 years back, we used to buy a box of cherry in Srinagar for 250. This year, it was selling for 75. There were hardly any takers in sale. You have to look back. You have to look at the mistakes, then only you can improve. Can't say whatever has happened. Please learn from the mistakes. So mobility is one thing. Number two, you very rightly pointed out, Kashmir is a craft-based industry along with tourism. We have GIs for some of the products. If these GIs can be converted into brands, I am very sure you would be solving a substantial problem of the craftspersons, and they are really in a very desperate condition as
well. Okay. Mr. Wazir?
Yeah. तो मेरा कहना यहाँ पे स्पष्ट है कि इस वक्त सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम जो है वो गवर्नमेंट और पब्लिक का डिस्कनेक्ट है, आपस में कनेक्शन है नहीं। मैं सिर्फ 3 एग्जांपल्स दूंगा। माइनिंग 8 महीने से बैन है, माइनिंग मतलब रेत बजरी ऑफिशियल तौर पर नहीं मिल रही है, कोई नहीं देख रहा। बिजली हमने गवर्नमेंट ने रुपया कि होटल चले या ना चले, फैक्ट्री चले या ना चले, वो आते रहते हैं और वो आपके बिल्स में वो आ रहा है, तो वो उसका कुछ नहीं है। 4G अगर नहीं चल रहा, कोई नहीं सुन रहा। और तो और सुनो, अगर हमारे यहाँ किसी की डेथ हो जाती है और हरिद्वार में अस्थियां लेके जाना है तो कोई आदमी परमिशन देने को तैयार नहीं है। तो यानी जब इस तरीके का डिस्कनेक्ट अगर गवर्नमेंट का और पब्लिक का अगर हो जाएगा तो मैं समझता हूं कि फिर इन्वेस्टमेंट क्या, अगर हम लोग ही अगर परेशान इतने हो जाएंगे तो बाहर से कौन आएगा। तो मेरी आपसे गुजारिश आपके माध्यम से यही है कि इस कनेक्ट।
We've run out of time completely, folks. We've completely run out of time. Quick reactions now, and then we'll wrap up.
Mr. Mir, your final point.
जी, थैंक यू। सी, मेरा ये एक पॉइंट है कि यू हैव टू फाइंड अंबानीज एंड बम्बानीज फ्रॉम J&K ओनली। आपके बाहर से कोई अंबानी नहीं आया आज तक। जब तक आप हैंड होल्डिंग लोकल इन्वेस्टर की नहीं करेंगे तो लोकल इकोनॉमी खड़ी नहीं होगी। I don't advocate for interest-free loans, but what I would definitely advocate for is interest subventions and a long-term moratoriums. आपने क्या किया है, पीछे गवर्नमेंट का ऑर्डर आपने भी पढ़ा होगा, आपने लिखा है कि 7 साल का मोरेटोरियम एंड विद इन 3 years you have to pay back. ये कोई नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं क्या कि how can he repay an entire loan amount in 3 years? So एक infusion की जरूरत है। I don't say interest free loan हमें चाहिए, we want an interest subvention on softer terms of loan and
जी बहुत ही बिल्कुल कमी है हमारे पास। मुश्ताक जी,
वेरी क्विक कमेंट,
सिर्फ 10 सेकंड है आपके पास, उसके बाद हम ब्रेक लेंगे।
देखिए, मुझे सिर्फ एक कहना और एक मानना है, विदाउट आवर फॉल्ट जो जम्मू कश्मीर को इन्होंने डिस्ट्रॉय कर दिया, विदाउट आवर फॉल्ट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को नेक नीति से कश्मीर को रेस्टोर करने की जरूरत है। उसमें इनको किन किन चीजों, जिस तरह सबू ने बता दे दिया, इन चीजों से ही रेस्टोर हो जाएगा ताकि यहाँ के लोग ठीक तरह से जिस तरह चलते थे आगे भी फले फूले अपना बिजनेस करे, अपनी मजदूरी करे। उसमें देख लीजिए कि उनको एक पूरा एजेंडा लेकर आना पड़ेगा।
Good intent and detailed agenda. Final word, Mr. Kutiala.
See, I'll say, yeah, thank you. The thing
we
is,
just have 10 seconds. We only have 10 seconds left, and then we'll have to wrap up. Unfortunately, we've run out of time.
My suggestion would be that sectoral advisory committees are created. So whatever decision the government takes for a particular sector is done with the consent and cooperation and advice and inputs of the sector stakeholders. Right now, decisions are coming which are not connected with the stakeholders, which is why you're seeing this discussion on minerals, bajri and things of that kind. Second thing, whatever policies are there.
Unfortunately, sir, we don't have any more time. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, apologies for cutting you short, but nevertheless, gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Anurag, thank you for hosting this with me. And Dr. Ghazala Amin, thank you so much for being a part of this show. And a special mention to Mr. Ashraf Mir. He came to this platform despite being COVID-19. We really appreciate that. And on behalf of Newsx, I also wish you, sir, a speedy recovery. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
So do we all. Wish you a speedy and quick recovery.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.